Welcome back, guys. It's the Card Boss, and this is part 3 of 3 of my coverage on the Southeast Asia Sports Card Convention. And this part 3 is basically my overall general review and comments on the show, okay, as well as I'm going to show you guys some of my pickups over the weekend. Not a lot. I was only there for 2 out of 3 days. First day was dedicated to content, and second days was just going around to meet a bunch of people, as well as just pick up a couple of cards, which I'll show you in a bit. So let's talk a bit about this show. Okay, it's of course some details that you guys may be aware. It's held just past weekend from May 9th to May 11th in Kuala Lumpur, my home country of Malaysia. Super huge venue this time around. It was in Pavilion Bukit Jalil in the convention hall, occupying quite a big space. I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe close to about like 5 to maybe 8,000 square feet in total. There were 3 convention halls broken up into 2 halls that were comprised of course, cards and collectibles, mainly cards, split of course TCG and sports, as well as one section for other collectibles like toys, anime, art, and a few other things, and of course a general stage as well. So pretty nicely organized in terms of the layouts. There was lots and lots of space. I really enjoyed the nice lighting. Okay, it was nice and bright. The ceiling was huge. You guys can look at my walkthrough in part 1 to this series. Okay, so generally it's a very good vibe. I believe I spoke to Han, which is the organizer from Card Hobby. There was a total of 230 vendors. Okay, and in the first, I believe, a couple of hours of the show, we easily had almost 2,000 people walking through the doors. Okay, which was pretty awesome. I'm not sure what the final count is over the weekend, but it was, from what I can see from myself in the first couple of days, there were many people in attendance. And the great part is the entry fees into the show was just very minimal. Okay, it's 5 ringgit for entrance per day. Oh no, sorry, it was 10 ringgit. Okay, which is roughly about $2.20 USD. Okay, or maybe it was $2.50 roughly between there, but still generally cheap for a day pass. And if a 3-day pass is just double that amount, so imagine less than $5 you get to enter into a show for across the weekend. It's free for students below 12 years old, and also free for senior citizens. So we got a lot of people just walking, just checking out the vibe, checking out what's going on. And of course we've got a lot of people who come in for the shows. Mainly I see a lot of TCG. The TCG booths were pretty hot. Okay, there were tons of people on that. Sports, I think they divided into 2 categories. There was a bunch of soccer, and the rest of them were mainly basketball. I think basketball tables, purely basketball tables, I think there were maybe about 5 or 6. A couple more that had a mixed sports, which between soccer and basketball, that's about another 5 as well. And there were maybe about another 4 or 5 tables solely dedicated to soccer. So perhaps about maybe I would say 20% in total, 20 or 25% in total were dedicated to solely sports, and the rest they had some sports and also a mix of others with TCG, mainly Pokemon. So good spread. I was hoping to see more sports. I was hoping to see more basketball. Definitely it was a bit less than what I thought it would be. It was really quite a few in the first show, in the Kuala Lumpur show last year. This year didn't really see that many increase as well this year. So hopefully better going forward, but definitely this is mainly TCG. The crowd was definitely coming in from the TCG side. Okay, so aside from that, how is this show compared to the others that I've went previously? Let's compare to Macau when I went 2 years ago. Definitely the scale of this show is not as great as Macau. Macau is definitely less like a spectacle. Definitely it's marketed as a truly international show. I believe this one was more like a regional show, so we have people from around the region coming in, a bit less from other parts of the world, but mainly focus on the regional side, from Philippines, from Singapore, Thailand, from China, Taiwan. Okay, we had a couple from Australia as well. Didn't see much from Indonesia this time around, surprisingly. Okay, but definitely I see Indonesians when I went to Macau. And comparing to the Grade 10 show when I went Hong Kong last year, definitely the vibe and the crowd in Hong Kong was a lot busier, lots of activities. Of course, the hall space was much smaller than this one, so it felt like it was a bit, I wouldn't say cramped, it was packed, okay, because it was smaller, so you could see more people going around, and so every table seemed very busy. Whereas this one we had more space, so there's a lot of more room to walk around. So a bit different, but definitely get a very much stronger vibe when I was in Hong Kong. Of course, the difference is I set up in Hong Kong, I had cards, so my table was busy. This time around, even though I set up, but I didn't have any cards for sale. It's mainly just to do some buys, which the activity was a bit low, obviously, because I mentioned mainly was TCG, but it was a space that I could, tell people that, come find me at this table. That's where I spend half of the time. They're just chilling, meeting with people, just chatting and catching up with a bunch of people around the region. So that was awesome. I think that was the main takeaway that I got from the show. You guys watch part 2 to this series where I met up with Ray, or I believe Exquisite. He and I met Ray when I was in Grade 10 Hong Kong. He dropped over my table. He presented to me LeBron James logo man, which ended up he told me to share with Coleman cards. So that was a nice story. So that was something that we remembered between us, and we struck up a good conversation, and we decided to have some drinks, and you guys could watch our discussion or our chat in part 2 to this series. So that was quite awesome, impromptu as well. So pretty cool. I spent a good about 30 to 40 minutes with Ray, just to pick his brain a little bit. He's doing awesome stuff for the hobby. So with regards to the overall show, I think it's great. Give thumbs up to Card Hobby. This is well organized. I definitely love the space on this one for sure. Okay, I really appreciate that one. I'm told there's not going to be any more huge shows in KL for this year, or at least organized by Card Hobby. And the next big show that we're perhaps going to be looking forward to would be the ASCC 2025 in October in Macau, which coincides with the NBA preseason between the Brooklyn Nets and the Phoenix Suns. So as the time of this recording, NBA draft is over. The Brooklyn Nets didn't get the first pick, so we won't be seeing Cooper Flag in the Brooklyn uniform for this upcoming show in October, which is what myself and Eric talked about in our last podcast. So overall, again, my thoughts not bad. Good show. Thoroughly enjoyed the weekend. Tiring. Some pickups over the weekend. Not a lot, okay. And there were some stories behind some of these pickups. I'm going to show you some of this stuff first. So first up is this Anthony Edwards Gold Select. This is from the 2020. Yeah. No, 2021, 2022. Can't really see. 2022 Select die cut pure gold. Got it from a local friend. PGS 95, I think it's a pop one. Next up, small card, 2003 Essential Credentials, Steve Francis, right? I picked this up for I think about like $80, right? So it's a nice clean copy. I'm gonna do something with it. Next card, I picked it up from TPC, Private Collective out of Singapore. This is Dirk Nowitzki. Right, this is a Bowman's Best Refractor Rookie, BGS 95. This is number 400. All right, so good card. Finally, got a Luka. This is the 2020 Spectra Color Blast. I get PSA 9. Okay, I believe this is like a pop 19 or something like that. Now this one comes with a bit of a story to it. Okay, I paid full comps for this Luka. I paid $2,000 for it. I believe the last comp was about 2070, 1980, something like that, full comps. Normally I don't usually pay outright full comps, but this was more of a relationship deal. The seller of this card is a guy from Danny from Taiwan, who is currently based in Singapore. He's a collector as well. He's a dealer. He goes to shows. It was nice to catch up, to talk to him. He and I share the same passion of how we work with our cards. We buy and sell cards. So this is one of the ice-breaking deal between us, and I think that we're gonna do a bunch of other deals in the future, or maybe do some sort of collaboration in the future. So cheers to Danny, thanks for this card, nice looking card, color blast. It's pretty hard to get a PSA 9. I think that those the ones that I've seen notoriously have some issues on the surface. So awesome, good looking card as well. So that was it, just 4 cards for this one. Didn't really spend a lot on this. I didn't really expect to pick up a lot of things as well, even though I saw some nice things on the table floor. A bit on the higher side, Ray picked up a bunch of stuff. He did a huge massive deal, lots and lots of cards on the table. I don't really have the stats on that particular deal, but definitely there were big cards changing hands during the show. Okay, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this 3-part series. I apologize in advance if, let's say, the quality of this recording. This is amateur, got an amateur cameraman to follow me around on this one, and I was just trying out something new, and hopefully gonna improve on the coverage quality in the future for future shows. I've quite enjoyed doing this one, going around talking to guys, mic them up, just spend a couple of minutes. Maybe I'm gonna do more of that in the future. All right, thanks for watching, guys. To like, subscribe for this channel for more content in the future. Thanks again. Cowboys out.